What's up there, fighting game fans? This is Sweet Johnny Cage with The Gamer's Voice and Video Game Central. Today we're going to be doing a quick little review on Guilty Gear X2 Accent Core Plus. Fairly long title. This game is for the Import Japanese PlayStation 2. This is one of the greatest fighting games ever created, and this is basically just kind of an add-on to Accent Core, which has been out already for both the Wii and the PS2. Please note that there are absolutely no gameplay differences in this one whatsoever, so, you know, if you're at a tournament and people need a copy of Accent Core and you only have Accent Core Plus, feel free to give it to them. There are no differences. This is also very good for those of you who want to practice for tournaments or just to get good in your local arcade. Now, please note for this review, the person playing this game is not me, because I'm terrible at this game, but it actually is Mr. Joe I Love You Ciaramelli. We have featured Joe in a few videos, namely the Hori Real Arcade Pro 2 joystick unboxing. We've interviewed him, and we've used him for a couple of other videos for some information. He's also been featured on the Gamer's Voice podcast. There's a link to that in the right of this video inside of the description. So, getting down to it. As I said just a second ago, there are no gameplay differences in this game from Accent Core. The only main differences is mission mode, story mode, and the inclusion of two new-ish characters. There's Cliff and Justice. They've both been in the Guilty Gear series before, Justice being the final boss of the original Guilty Gear for the PlayStation 1. That game's actually kind of bad, so I really wouldn't suggest even looking at that. For those of you who don't know, Guilty Gear Accent Core is the latest and greatest version of Guilty Gear in the arcades, both in America and Japan. So, getting down to the review. We're going to start off with Mission Mode. Mission Mode is basically mission mode. This is a way to unlock art, EX characters, which are basically just boosted up versions, characters in the game already. This is also another way to unlock Cliff and Justice via completing all the missions. 10, 20, and 30 of them will unlock different things. Another way to unlock characters is by beating the game with them or finishing their story mode. There's, a myriad of ways to do things in this game, but mission mode is probably the quickest. Also, please note that Cliff and Justice are extremely broken, Justice being probably the most overpowered character in the series. He's definitely not tournament legal, he's not in any arcade version, so you really don't have to worry. But again, if you're at a tournament and you want to money match somebody with Justice, by all means, you can do it in this version. This is mission mode. As you can see in mission mode, there are various conditions in which you must complete missions under. As you can see in this mission, number 18, the time you have to beat it is 99 seconds, standard. You also have the clear condition, which is beat the enemy. The enemy is Milia, the gold version. The player starts off with 41 life, the enemy with 420. The guard level for you is 0, for her it's 64. The tension is 10,000 in normal mode, they have 0. The psych burst is still on. There's no seal, for those of you wondering exactly seal is. It is basically a limitation on you, such as you can't throw, you can't dust, you can't heavy slash, you can't do certain things. But in this mission there is none. Combo damage usually be increase or decrease, but in this case there is none. Instant kill, there is none. Damage is by default. So that's basically one of these missions. There's a total of 30 missions. As I said before, this is just another way to unlock people. This is also pretty good for training, The computer in this game is actually fairly intelligent, mainly only because it's a dial-up combo game, meaning that you could press all 4 buttons in succession, and it'll combo with just about anybody. But that's not to say that this game is easy. It's probably one of the hardest games to learn. It really is. I was just at a tournament on Memorial Day weekend, and watching the finals between Marlon Pye and this kid, Sean S.H., I forget where he's from, almost made me sick to my stomach just watching it, how fast these two players played this game. So that's mission mode. Next up is story mode. Story mode tells the Guilty Gear story, which to my knowledge is one of the most complicated stories in a fighting game to date. However, the cool thing about this game is that this is a pretty good way to train with characters that you haven't unlocked yet, namely Cliff and Justice, which are actually the only two that you have to unlock. These two characters are unlocked by default in story mode, but not in arcade or versus mode. This is also another way of unlocking the different versions, the gold and the EX versions. Story mode also has conditions from mission mode such as seals, and it also features a branching system, meaning that you could decide who to fight next in the story. The story mode actually, for hardcore fans, takes place after the events of Guilty Gear Accent Core's story mode, so if you played through that, then this is the continuation of that. But please note, it's all in Japanese, so unless you read Japanese or you speak it, You're probably not going to know what the hell's going on. However, this story mode is actually completely voiced, which is something new to Guilty Gear. So just to show you a little bit of what Guilty Gear has to offer for those of you who have never played it before, this is Joe, I Love You playing, and I'm usually the dummy or the one blocking. Some people complain in the arcades, and for those of you who play at home, some people do complain about some characters being a little bit broken, such as Potemkin. Potemkin has a full screen combo, and it's actually unblockable. The way it's unblockable is that one move is going to hit you from the front, and one of them is going to hit you below. So even if you're blocking down, one of them is an overhead, so you're not going to be able to block it. It's full screen, meaning that it'll take you from one corner to the next, and then he could do another type of combo, as we're about to show you. Now right here I'm just going to show you a little bit of what Guilty Gear has to offer as far as character mechanics, gameplay mechanics, all the really cool stuff that you could do, such as with Potemkin, Slayer, Venom, Soul, Order Soul, all these really cool characters, all these top tier characters that you'll see used in arcades and tournaments.
You win! Perfect!
Guilty Gear is probably one of the most complicated fighting games out there. Every single character is completely different. There are different weight classes, which means that different characters will fall at different rates. Some will fall faster, like Potemkin is definitely going to fall a lot faster than Slayer, only because he's huge. It's not like a game like Street Fighter 2 or Samurai Showdown, where everybody's pretty much the same as far as falling and gravity and weight. It's definitely not like that. Everybody's different, which means that no matter who you're facing, your tactics always have to change. So if you're going to be using Slayer against Eddie or against Potemkin, you're going to have to use two different tactics and two different sets of setups and combos. This really adds to the game by making it that much more involved. Now, that's not to say that this game isn't slightly broken. Every fighting game out there is broken, but this is probably one of the least broken games. But almost every character does have his or her fair share of unblockables and close to infinites. But the damage in this game is mostly stack damage, so you really won't notice. If my first hit is going to take away 30%, the next one isn't going to take away 40. It's going to take away less than 30, which kind of balances things out a bit. Now, everybody has a tension bar. This is basically how you're going to use your EX moves as well as your specials. EX moves take up 25% tension, where your specials take up 100. This is very similar to games like Third Strike or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So that's basically all I have for you guys as far as Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus goes for the Import Japanese PS2. If you'd like to learn more about this game and other games like it, please look to the right of this video inside of the video description for a link to VideoGameCentral.com. If you're wondering how to play import games on your American PS2, also look inside the video description for a link to our slide tool, flip top, and slim flip top installation videos, as well as use of the swap discs to find out how to play import games on your American systems. Also, be sure to check out our blog, The Gamer's Voice, as well as our podcast. There is a link to that also in the video description. There's a lot of shameless plugging going on today. I'm Sweet Johnny Cage, guys. Thanks for watching.